Coming up in the news, Phase 1 of the Sweetings Key Housing Project complete. The leader of the PLP wrapping up a 4-day visit to Grand Bahama. And residents of the East benefiting from farming kits. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Megan Shepard. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping news, 9 residents on Sweetings Key receiving the keys to their brand new homes thanks to the Rotary Club of Grand Bahama and the TK Foundation. A presentation ceremony marked the completion of Phase 1 of the Sweetings Key Home Project. The Minister of Disaster Preparedness Management and Reconstruction commending the Rotary Club for its response to Grand Bahamians in the wake of the monster storm Dorian. Rumiko Knowles was there.
The Sweetings Key Home Project was simply a discussion, but today it is a reality for 9 residents of Sweetings Key receiving keys to their brand new homes.
You know, this project in particular has not been an easy one. We've had plenty sleepless nights and plenty days of pop-up meetings to make sure that we've been able to accomplish what we've set out to do.
But the mission was completed. In fact, the 9 homes were constructed 1 month ahead of schedule. Tears flowed from the eyes of Billie Jane Ferguson, area governor for the Rotary Club, as she recalled the devastation the monster storm Dorian left behind. She says she is a proud Rotarian.
Everything I've worked for, everything I've owned, all of my memories from my children and grandchildren was washed away. And I had very few items left. And this Rotary shirt was one of them. And so I wore this shirt today. It's discolored, it's torn, it's stained, but it stands firm to say of the power of unity, the power what it means to be connected in service to humanity.
No stone was left unturned as it relates to the building of the homes. Not only are the homes 80% completed and outfitted with hurricane-proof windows, but they are also fully insured. Representative from Insurance Management, Melissa Sears, says they were more than happy to facilitate the insurance on behalf of the Rotary Club for the 9 newly constructed homes.
We understand that insurance is a subject matter that many persons are not comfortable with. However, and most recently, we have come to appreciate that it is necessary for an island nation such as ours that sits in the hurricane belt to impress the importance of ensuring your greatest investment and asset, such as your home, your business, health, and life.
And it would not be possible without the TK Foundation, which is a private organization organized in the Bahamas in 2002. Since then, they have donated over $50 million. Diane Pinling says it has been 20 years since she last visited Sweetings Key and adds that it is a pleasure to see the lovely homes in person.
Following the devastation of Hurricane Dorian, the TK Foundation made a conscious decision to expand its reach and broaden its humanitarian activities. This resulted in our partnering with Rotary in Abaco and Grand Bahama to assist in the reconstruction and the repair of homes, in addition to funding the purchase of boat engines to put fishermen in East Grand Bahama back to work.
The Minister of Disaster Preparedness Management and Reconstruction, the Honorable Pakeisha Parker Edgecombe, bringing remarks on behalf of the area's Member of Parliament. She says when the story is told of the country's response to Hurricane Dorian, the Rotary Club will be cited as having responded strongly and effectively.
So today, I take this opportunity to reaffirm the government's commitment to ensuring that those impacted by Hurricane Dorian throughout this nation are given the assistance that they require. But it is the Rotarians at this moment that stand firm and strong in what you have delivered.
Now the homes were constructed by Team Seagrape, a group of men who stayed in tents inside of a church on the Key. They worked 10-hour days for 6 days a week. Lead contractor Cyril Harvey oversaw the project.
Most of the guys used to it because that's something we do on the norm. We try to work 6 to 7 days a week. With the construction industry, we don't always have work. So when there's work, we try to get in as much hours as possible.
One of the recipients had the Feast of Ferguson expressing thanks on behalf of the homeowners.
We are greatly astonished for all you have done. And with humble hearts and appreciative minds, we would just say thank you, thank you, thank you.
Now, according to Rotarians, the Sweetings Key Home Project is not only about putting residents back into their homes, but it also signifies a better and brighter future for East Grand Bahama. Reporting from Sweetings Key, Ramiko Knowles, ZNS Network News.
A church in the Southern District is undertaking a major project that will aid the vulnerable in society with the help of a renowned international organization. The church is spearheading the construction of a homeless shelter that many say is desperately needed. Italia Hall has the story.
The community of Pinders Point will soon have a new homeless shelter. The Church of the Good Shepherd in Pinders Point is in the final stages of renovating a 2-bedroom, 2-communal bathroom facility, which will be able to house some 26 persons. Reverend Father Jude, rector of the Church of the Good Shepherd, says renovation should be complete over the next 3 weeks.
This will be responding to the needs of those people who live here with us, who are having a hard time. Many cannot pay their mortgage. Many cannot pay their rent, living in their cars. This is the only thing we can do. Right. And it is going to take the partnership of not just us, but it's going to take the partnership of the entire community to make this happen.
Public Relations Officer for the shelter, Whitney Bain, says the building was in a state of disrepair.
We discussed how we can go about trying to get some assistance, and it was a long shot, but I approached my boss and I said to him, listen, I believe that we can make a difference in Grand Bahama by looking at creating some kind of an assistance for homeless persons here. It may not be a 1,000-room facility, but it's something that, and it's a start to help to combat homelessness on Grand Bahama.
Samaritan's Purse also partnering with the church to make this project a reality.
First heard about this initiative through a pastoral fellowship program that we have, where we bring together multiple pastors throughout the island in fellowship together. There's a lot of needs after a hurricane that the pastors have as they support the community, and so we were very, very thankful to be a part of that. And through those conversations, we first heard about the issues of homelessness that are facing the island of Grand Bahama, and so I just think this is a beautiful example of the body of Christ, that we can see the funding that Samaritan's Purse is able to provide alongside the skill set that the board of directors here has.
Following a short tour of the facility, a special award was given to Samaritan's Purse as a token of appreciation. Now the total cost of the repairs is some $95,000. It's Halia Hall, ZNS Network News.
The leader of the opposition, Progressive Liberal Party, wrapping up a 4-day visit to Grand Bahama this past Sunday. The Honorable Philip Brave Davis and a delegation out of the nation's capital kicked off their official visit on Thursday with a service of Thanksgiving at First Baptist Church. On Friday afternoon, the PLP leader held a news conference to officially introduce the party's candidates for Grand Bahama. Former Tourism Minister Obi Wilshcombe for West Grand Bahama and Bimini, Unionist Kirk Russell for Central Grand Bahama, former Port Authority Executive Ginger Moxie for Pine Ridge, educator Kurt Hollingsworth for Marco City, and businessman James Turner for East Grand Bahama. Davis says he is proud of the slate of candidates running for office on Grand Bahama.
We thank God for a good team. A good team of candidates that we, the Progressive Party, have put forward for you. A team with a good plan and a PLP party committed and ready to serve. Ready to serve and to bring the relief that is necessary for a better life for you who live here in Grand Bahama. We know it's not going to be easy.
While on Grand Bahama, Davis and delegation toured West End and Sweetings Key and conducted a walkabout in the Marco City constituency. The PLP leader also taking part in the official opening of the party's headquarters for the Pine Ridge constituency, downtown Freeport, as well as the commissioning ceremony for the party's Central Grand Bahama constituency office located in Lewis Yard. Davis, along with the chairman, Fred Mitchell, say the party is concerned about the economy of Grand Bahama and they hope to bring about a change.
An inadequate hospital facility, an overdue hotel deal that is draining the public's purse, and a shell of an airport with no money to fix it, and no timeline when it will be fully operational. Grand Bahama has been given a bunch of empty promises. 2 years later, Hurricane Dorian's damage remains a major neglect of this government.
We have a compelling message to sell and to give, to make this once again a Bahamian city, to take the fight to the enemy and not be afraid to take our message forward, to not be afraid to use the technology which is available to us to get the message out. Things have changed significantly since I started out in this business a generation ago, and you're very lucky that you have all these platforms available to you. This is the Progressive Liberal Party, 1953 to the present. And that message is so important and compelling that we need to get out into the streets door by door and sell that message.
Now, following that press conference, Progressive Liberal Party candidate for the Pine Ridge constituency, Ginger Moxie, officially opened the Pine Ridge constituency office in the downtown area. Leader of the opposition, the Honorable Philip Brave Davis, says the office is significant for the city of Freeport.
It is a historical one. This headquarters is being opened in the heart of Freeport. Historic because at one time, this was where everything happened in Freeport. It was once the central hub of this island. I know, because Grand Bahama ain't no stranger to me. I lived here for many years. This is where our grandparents will say, this is where I cut my teeth as a lawyer. Came here in 74, and I left in about 1980. So I know Grand Bahama. I understand its challenges. And that's why I know that the Ginger Moxie, along with the fine team that we have chosen, will bring the changes and meet those challenges to ensure that each Grand Bahamian gets what they deserve.
He says it is the party's goal to revive Grand Bahama's economy.
This headquarters is the resurgence of the downtown area of Freeport. With Ginger Moxie as your next member of parliament, it could be and it should be. Pine Ridge, there's no doubt in my mind that Ginger Moxie is truly for the people. She is the only female candidate on Grand Bahama and joins others who ran before her, Pleasant Bridgewater, Ann Pacenti Russell, Constance MacDonald, and Tanisha Tynes Cambridge. A female short but mighty and powerful. A female who has always kept Grand Bahama and now Pine Ridge close to her heart. And today, with the opening of this headquarters, the hard work is paying off.
Through a joint partnership between ADRA Bahamas and the Moore Charitable Foundation, residents of East Grand Bahama now have backyard farming kits. On Saturday morning, a large quantity of kits were distributed to residents of that community at the Churchill Tender Knolls Community Park. Project Officer for ADRA Bahamas, Monique Dean, sharing more about the project, while Minister of State for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Kwesi Thompson, is thanking the organization for their efforts.
ADRA Bahamas stands for, the ADRA stands for Adventist Development Relief Agency. And what's happening here is we partnered up with the Ministry of Agriculture so that we can distribute these kits throughout the community to basically highlight the importance of backyard farming and the need today to be self-sustaining and growing your own vegetables and starting your own backyard farm.
These residents say they're grateful and the farming kits will go a long way.
Really important in this day and age, particularly as it with the COVID, whereby we're able to sustain ourselves. It's good in the fact that we're able to grow our own food.
I've already started farming, but the insects eating me out of house and land, so I'm kind of got to start all over again. But I appreciate it. It's a good thing because we need to start doing our own vegetables. It's because the food store is extremely high, so it helps.
2 fatal traffic accidents in Abaco over the holiday weekend. The first incident taking place around 10 p.m. Friday on the SC Boodle Highway involving 2 vehicles, a 2007 gray BMW occupied by 2 adult males and a gray Dodge Caravan driven by a female. The driver of the BMW received leg injuries while his front seat passenger succumbed to his injuries on scene. Both males are said to be residents of Treasure Key. The female driver of the Dodge Caravan, a resident of Murphytown, sustained serious injuries and is listed in stable condition. Police say based on their investigations, the BMW was heading west on the SC Boodle Highway when the driver lost control and swerved into the eastbound lane, colliding head-on with the gray Caravan. The driver and passenger in the BMW had to be removed from the vehicle using the jaws of life. And as mentioned earlier, the passenger in the BMW was pronounced dead at the scene. The driver of the BMW and the driver of the Caravan were transported to the Marsh Harbor Clinic for medical attention. Now, the second fatal accident occurred 8 a.m. on Saturday morning. Police say they received information of a traffic accident in the area of Cherokee Sound Highway involving an aqua-colored Suzuki Swift being driven in a northerly direction by an adult male. Further reports say the male driver attempted to overtake another vehicle, lost control, and crashed into a utility pole. EMS personnel attended the scene and pronounced the male lifeless. Investigations are continuing. And a Grand Bahama man is dead, the victim of an apparent drowning over on the island of Bimini. Police say around 5 p.m. on Sunday, officers from the Bimini district received a report that a male was found lifeless in a sinkhole near the Bimini International Airport. According to reports, the victim, a resident of Pinedale 8 Mile Rock and an employee of a local construction company, went to the area of the sinkhole, and when he did not return, his co-workers became concerned and conducted a search and found him floating in the sinkhole unresponsive. The victim's body was removed and taken to the Bimini Clinic, where he was pronounced dead. Police are awaiting the autopsy report to determine the exact cause of the death. Investigations are continuing. And stay with us, there's still more news to come right after this break.